Hi guys, good morning. Hello. Hi guys, good morning.
Hello.
Hi guys, good morning. Thanks for being on
Yes,
time.
very good morning.
Yeah, thanks for being on time. This is Shweta Shetty from Setlan. Today we have a hackathon program. So, like Mr. Harish Kumar, like he'll take the session. So he's a data analyst. Like he have nearly 4 years plus experience. He's working for the Deloitte. I request the Harish Kumar like take the session. Hi Harish Kumar.
My name is Harish. I will be here. I'm here for taking some hackathon, and I will just explain you the complete introduction part of data analysis, and we will walk you through the project. Today we will see the project regarding the Python. We just walk, means majorly it was involved with the EDA kind of part. So hope you all know what is meant by EDA, exploratory data analysis. So our most focus will be on exploratory data analysis. And we will also see in that project regarding the univariate, bivariate, and multivariate analysis. Okay. Uh, Hope I'm audible. Everything is okay, right? I'm able to hear me. Fine. So first, let us start with my introduction part. So my name is Harish. I'm having 50 years of experience working as a data analyst. So currently, I'm working at Deloitte as a data analyst, and prior to that, I've also worked in Infosys as a data analyst. And my skill set where I've been working in Deloitte as well as Infosys is mostly dealing with the Python, SQL, Azure Databricks, Microsoft Azure tech stack, and everything, including Tableau and Power BI as well. So these are my working experience area. And coming to the teaching background, I'm not here for the first time for the teaching, but I'm also having the teaching experience earlier as well. I'm also having a few batches outside. So I'm here for taking the project here. Actually I reached out for teaching here, but I got an opportunity. So today we will first of all walk you through the complete introduction part of the data analysis. I will just explain you what is data analysis, and I will complete give you an overview of the data analysis. So what is it? What is the importance of this data analysis? What are the skills we need to have? How we can approach for the jobs? Okay, what is the important? Because at the end of the thing, end of the day, what we need is a job after learning the skill. So how we can approach and what are the skills? Mostly the organizations are looking for. So it is not just all the skills that you are learning now is required for the job. It's a kind of a combination of the skills. Suppose if you are learning total 5 skills, it's not that every organization will require all the 5 skills. So mostly they will be asking for Python SQL. Some of them will ask for SQL and Tableau. Some of them will ask for SQL and Power BI. It's a kind of a mixture of the skills that we are trying to learn. And the data analyst mindset is the most important thing that we need to have to get a job. It's not just about the learning the skill, but the mindset of a data analyst is required so that we need to think in various aspects. So not in just one aspect, we need to think in multiple aspects where we can analyze the data and get the insights which is present inside the data. So that is the most important thing, that is having a mindset of a data analyst is required. So we will walk you through what are the things that we are having. So these are the contents which we will be going to discuss. We'll first see the definition of data analysis. Almost, I think you might be knowing as of now what is data analysis and all. But still we will discuss what is data analysis, why data analysis is used, where it can be used, whom we call as a data analyst, what is the role of this person in the organization, what he will be doing. And some real life examples of data analysis where we'll be using also we'll see. And why you need to become a data analyst. Means if you're learning something, we need to have in mind the complete aim of it. So in which path you are going and why you need to become a data analyst. That is also important thing we need to have. So that we will discuss and what are the skills you need to learn to become a data analyst. So these are the complete contents which we will be going to discuss in the introduction part. Later we'll move on to the project. Okay. So I think so these things you might be already having the knowledge, but still let us introduce all this. So first of all, let us see what is data analysis. So anyone can tell what is data analysis in your own words?
Data is which is unprocessed data, where based on the previous historical data, we will do analysis to get insight of data to take decisions.
Okay, fine. Any other?
Yeah,
Analyzing the data in such a way that we can use that for our operations.
So can you start?
Analyzing the data, so like that, so that the data can be used by us for our
Yeah, saying that the data we should extract that and manipulation and visualization. After that, we should use for our problem statement. The major part is we have to get the insight from the data.
Okay, fine. Any other definitions? Anyone want to share?
based on the past data.
Okay, fine. Good. So I will tell in some other way, like taking into the word of data analysis. I will separate the data and analysis so that we can get in some kind of new definition. It's not a kind of new definition, but a new way of explaining. Almost whatever people has been told, it will be the same at the end of the day. So let us see what is data and analysis. If you see that it is having two different words, one is data and another is analysis. So what is meant by data? Data is nothing but some kind of information that is required for us to take the business decisions at the end of the day. So data in the sense it is not just a kind of information that is useless. So data should be something useful for us to take the decision at the end of the day. So that kind of data is what we call as some information. So To simplify it, data is nothing but some kind of information that is required for us to take the decisions at the end of it. And what is meant by analysis? General meaning of analysis is examining, observing the things. That is the general meaning of analysis. Now combine both of these things. Data plus analysis. Whatever the data that we are having, that is nothing but information that we are having, we are going to examine it, observe it deeply to find out the insights from that information, which will be useful for the future or for the business future as well. So this is nothing but the data analysis. So that's why I have been written the can see this point. It's a process of exploring and analyzing the large data sets to find the hidden patterns. So we all know the output that we are going to get from the data analysis. It will be having different kind of names. We can call it the hidden patterns. We can call them as an unseen threads. We can call them as an insights as well. So it all depends upon what is the kind of data that you are using and what is the kind of output that you are getting from that. Suppose if you are using kind of an data kind of age group. So if you want to get the details regarding the age group, suppose in the age group of 25 to 30, how many people are there? And let us correlate some more detailed example. Let us say sales data, e-commerce sales data, let us say. And if you wanted to analyze which age group people are buying more smartphones, let us say. So here we will have a different age group. Let us say 25 to 30, 30 to 35, 35 to 40, like this, greater than 40. These are different kind of age group buckets we can get. And in that, we can easily identify which age group people are mostly buying the smartphones in that particular industry. Right? That is a kind of a pattern that we can find. Coming to the insight, these are all kind of synonyms, but according to the scenario, business use case, the name we will very but mostly we can use any of these. We can use patterns, we can use trends, we can use insights. But coming to myself, I mostly will be using of what called insights, which most of the people will be using. So let us go with the insights as the name wherever we see. So this entire data analysis, let us see with some real life example. So I will tell a small example. It might be easy as well. So just a small easy example, let us see on real time scenario. Let us say we are working in one of an organization where our role is a data analyst. So let us say there is one client is there in the business for that particular organization. He is doing a business of food delivery, just like how Swiggy and Zomato is operating. So what Swiggy and Zomato that particular business will do, they will take the orders from the customers, and one delivery agent will pick up the order from the restaurant and he will give it to the doorstep of the customers. So this is simple. That's it. That's the business. Let us say a similar kind of business is doing by a client who is being operating in that particular area of organization, let us say, and they're facing some issues. Suppose from the past few months, they are getting less orders. Earlier, for 1 month, if they're getting 1 lakh of orders, but now from the past few months, they're experiencing some less number of orders, let us say 90,000, 80,000 and 70,000. The number of orders are coming less. So what will be the direct impact of this on the business?
Losses.
Loss. Or else they're getting less profits. That's the direct impact of that. So that is the problem statement here. One real life scenario I'm explaining. So what the organization is trying to do. So if you see analysis, it is having 4 different kind of things. What is prescriptive analytics, diagnostic, descriptive, and what is another one?
Continuous.
Not continuous. So first one, we are going to first identify what is the problem there, right? That is, we are diagnosing the problem and why it is happened and what will happen in the future. That is, we are doing the predictive, and next is prescriptive. What we should do is the prescriptive analytics. So here we are identifying the problem first, and then we are going to identify why it is happening. That is the important thing. Why the orders are coming less. That is the problem statement there. Because we need to answer to the client, this is the area where you are lagging, because of which your orders are coming less. That's what we need to explain to the client, that they are expecting from our end. And we also need to tell what will happen in the future if the same trend will continue, and what you need to do to come out of this. These are the problem statements and solutions we need to give to the client and explaining and getting through the data. So let us say this is the problem statement entirely. I think everybody understood the problem. So they're experiencing the less number of orders coming, because of this the profits are getting less. Now they're focusing upon the organization, and what they're expecting is they're expecting the answers for their problem. So let us say we are working as it. Let us say we want the data. First of all, we want the data so that then only we can able to get the What is the problem? Let us say you are operating only in, let us say, in Hyderabad city. We will gather the data for the Hyderabad city from the past 2 months or 3 months. How many orders they have been delivering? So when you are delivering any order, they will store the data regarding that. So what is the kind of data they can store? Any guess? Sir, what is the customer data?
Name, address.
Okay, kind of an customer demographics or is the customer profile data. Okay, still
Item, product.
type of food. Okay,
Item.
restaurant preference. Good.
Type of food.
Taste.
Type. How many? That is another thing. That is a kind of aggregation activity. Kind of okay. What are the examples that you tell? It is correct. Let me add few more things. With respect to the client side, we need to think in some other data. From where the customer is ordering the food, like you told restaurant, fine. Suppose from where the customer is ordering to the restaurant. Suppose the restaurant is present in Madhapur, and if you are ordering it from Panjagutta or if you are ordering it from High-Tech City, which one is the nearest thing? High-Tech City will be the nearest thing. So we need to take the thing like how much time the delivery is taking. Suppose if I am the person who is placing the order, and if it is taking me half an hour of time, and if some other restaurant is giving me some other product is giving me the same food item within 10 minutes, which one we will prefer?
10 minutes.
10 minutes one. We will not go for the half an hour, right? That is also a problem for us. The problem the client is facing is they are taking more delivery time. That also we need to analyze. So the delivery time is also important for us. From where the order is coming, to which restaurant they are ordering, and how much time they are taking to deliver the food item. That is also we need to gather in the data. So whatever we have been missed, that is one point we need to add in the data. So as we told customer demographics, that's fine. And the most important thing is the locations. From where to where. So these all data, let us say we have been gathered from the past 2 to 3 months. How many orders that particular client is delivering to overall customers in the Hyderabad city? Just we will say we will take only one city as a. So we gather the data. Next step, what we will do? After gathering the data, we have been gathered the data whatever we have been required. So what will be the next step in the data analysis process?
Understanding.
What is that?
Understanding the data.
Understanding the data. Next step.
Checking the purchase capacity of the particular customer in which one he is taking.
Okay, but before that, what is the main thing we need to perform?
Copy.
Data
Cleaning. Data cleaning is the most important thing in the data analysis. Why is it so?
Null values.
Null values, it can be outliers, it can be irrelevant data. There will be so many things. Suppose we are taking the feedback from the customer. We will give a column there to give the feedback. Some persons will enter not applicable. Some persons will enter whatever the bullshit they want. But to keep out all these things, we need to clean our data right there. Suppose if you are trying to enter the date format, some persons will use the date format like month, day, year. Right? Okay, no, that's fine. So MMDD that is one format. DDMMYYY, MMDDYY, DDMMYY. Like these different date formats, each of the customer whatever they like, they will enter. But what we are trying to do there is we will be going to clean the data and we will get the entire date format in one single date format. That is also part of a data cleaning. Before we go and analyze or before we go and make visualizations on the data, if the date format is not a kind of correct or single format, it will throw an error. So this kind of so many things we need to handle in the cleaning. So that's why I'm telling data cleaning is the most important thing in the data analysis. Analyzing the data, making the visualizations, everybody can do. But understanding the data and cleaning the data is the most important thing. Making it ready for the analysis is the most important thing in the data analysis. So that's why data cleaning is the most important thing. So after getting the data, we will understand the data and we will clean the data, then we will move for the analysis. So this entire process we will do in the data. So we will continue the same example, the problem statement. We have done all these things. Let us say you have been started analyzing it. This is not going to be applicable for each and every scenario, whatever I'm taking. Maybe few scenarios so that we will approach one solution. We will continue with the same example. Let us say we started counting the number of orders the client is delivering in each and every part of the city. Let us say there are so many areas in the Hyderabad city. So in each and every part of the city, how many orders they have been delivering? Suppose let us say in Madhapur, how many orders they are delivering in from the past 3 weeks, or else past month how many, before that month how many, before that month how many. That trend we are actually trying to pick up out there. After picking out the trend, we can able to see the difference in the number of orders in which areas it is coming less. Let us say out of 3 areas, or else let us say out of 5 areas, I will say A, B, C, D, E. 2 areas are performing well, means whatever the orders they have been delivering, the trend is fine. Means number of orders coming less is not been observed in these 2 areas. But there are 3 areas which the number of orders are coming very less. So that's what is the trend you have been observed. One kind of an insight you got. Which areas are coming less? Where it is coming less, you have been observed. Now we will tell the same to the client, saying this is one of an insight which I got. Out of the areas in the city, there are only 3 particular areas because of which the overall orders has been getting decreased. Now, what is the next step the client will be doing after getting the insights to present it back to the insights to the client? So with us, our project will complete, but let us understand beyond this. What will happen after you gave these insights to the business?
They will try to improve their way
How they will improve?
by checking the inside the how data which is given by them.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever the insight that we have given, they will use that. Let us say we have given 3 area names, ABC areas, where the number of orders are coming is less. So usually how the trend the normal food delivery apps they will follow, they will give some offers. Instead of giving offers to the entire city, they will just, let us say they give it for 3 areas only. Let us say they have given 60% of offer. The food item which you got earlier for 600 rupees, let us say if you are getting it for 500 or 300 rupees, people will tend to buy. That's how the human tendency is nowadays, and that's how it's being cashed in the business. If you are getting it for 300 rupees, you will think that we are saving 300 rupees, but you are spending 300 rupees there. Right? That is a business tactic that they will follow. They will give some offers to those 3 area customers, whoever is placing the orders from that particular location. They will give the offers to those area customers and they will improve the orders. So by the time after 1 month or 2 months, the number of orders, whatever is being decreased earlier, they have been improved nowadays. So now slowly what they will do? Decrease the offers from 60 to 50, 50 to 40, 40 to 30. But in the meantime, what they have been gathered? More number of customers they have been gathered. Earlier, let us say 10 orders are coming per day. They have been easily might have been gathered 15 to 20 orders. So the customers has been used to place the orders from that particular app. So they have been now a valued customers in their particular app now. So now are you able to understand the overall problem, what has been happened? What is the solution we have been given? How it has been helped the business to overcome that particular problem? Got it? So this entire process of data analysis is what helped
If any competitor
like in other competitor in the same business. So it all kind of in variations. So it's not that only one particular person is or one particular organization is going to perform these operations. It all kind of in latest updates what they can follow. So what we are trying to do there is what has been happened based on that we are giving the updates. But there are various aspects of the business, not just the data analysis. So what are the kind of new things that you're trying to provide in that particular app to the customers is also going to place it. But as we has been trying to give them what is happened earlier and what the solution that we are giving is our part. But looking into the other aspects, nowadays you can see Swiggy Instamart is there. There is a new kind of feature that has been added by the Swiggy that has been helped them, more customers can get attracted to it. That we can't tell them, go and use this, but we can't do everything in the business. What is our role? What is happened? Why it is happened? That's what is our role there.
So I'm asking in that particular area, we both have the standards.
Okay.
You have the same thing. I mean, Eco is to control sales figure, the data is
Okay.
as a data analyst, what we will do
Okay.
to sustain the data.
Okay. So it's a kind of overall monthly kind of analysis can be done. It is not just like analyzing the thing only for that particular area and leaving it out. We wanted to do continuous kind of analysis. That is one kind of thing that will help us. So if there is a business need, there will be definitely competitors will be there.
Yeah.
So we can't directly occupy the entire business there. We will help the business to grow by keeping in the mind of what is the other kind of activities that other organization is also doing. So we can't directly go and occupy the entire market there with one business person. So it is overall it's not possible. What our business is there to help them to improve. can't help them to outplay the entire market. You can't go and outplay the Zomato and give the Swiggy entire market in the one area, right? It's based upon the offers and based upon the customer experience. We'll have so many factors. So that's what is the entire process of what is data analysis, the use case example and all. Let us continue with the next slide. Why it is used? So we already got the answers in the examples. Why it is used?
Solve the problem.
To solve the problem, to understand
Increase the profits.
is the profits,
To understand the data.
understand the data, right? Any others?
Per day, billions of data information is produced. So in order to analyze and keep it in an information way, so we are using and storing in a database cloud system.
That will be
It is used to
big data will be there.
Big
It can be Microsoft Azure, AWS, Google Cloud platforms will be there. So using these things, we have the big data technologies like suppose if you want to transform the data using Python, it's not possible in the some other kind of directly. So we have some big data platforms like Azure Databricks. That is one of them cloud data cloud
Very easy
platform.
to learn that also as a data analyst.
It's not required. So what I can say is if you can have Python in your skills, you can learn anything out of it. So if you have Python knowledge, like mostly data manipulation, pandas and NumPy, mostly pandas. If you can learn pandas, it will be similar to PySpark and everywhere it is. Okay. Azure Databricks.
Amazon.
Perform the transformations of data. So earlier I told right to clean the data to come up with a single format of the date. You can use that. So why we are using in particular Azure Databricks is it is a kind of platform that can handle huge amounts of data. That is scalability issues and everything will be there. You would just write it down, load the entire thing in the Jupyter notebook, let us say, millions of data is there. You can load it in the Jupyter notebook, and if you run any kind of one transformation step, just assume how many hours it will take to complete the transformation. It is a waste of time and waste of resources. So that's why organizations are storing the data in the big data. So the place where it will run quickly and give you the outputs within less amount of time by using a lot of storage capacity. That's what is the big data systems are used for large amount of stuff. Anything else? Let's continue here.
It is used to check the company's performance, comparing previous years. It is used to compare.
Yeah, you are telling the use case.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Okay, so what are the examples you told? That's fine. So in the example as well, we covered that. We have been used the data analysis there to generalize and say to help the client to understand what is happening in their business. That's what we have done there. And we have been helped. So do you think like data analysis is just for the business purpose? Can it be used anywhere else? Is it just for the business or can it be used for anywhere else?
Anywhere else, any domain.
Any example can you provide?
In survey, government surveys.
Okay. Fine.
Corporation.
Sports, good example.
Weather.
Weather, fine. So you have in correct mindset now. It's not just for the business, it can be used anywhere. That is the importance of data analysis. So why we use this? Here we are using data analysis to understand the trends and what is happening in the business. And not just for the business, just outside of the business, it can be individual performance technique as well. Okay, to improve the efficiency levels, not just in the business, but also for the individuals as well. I will tell you few examples in the next coming slides. Some of the other than the business, just like this, I told the examples I don't know. Apart from that, I will tell you few more examples. So we will cover here few industries where we use data analysis. So first one here is retail industry. It can be, it is a kind of sector, right? We can have so many businesses inside it. So let us say e-commerce industry. It can be Amazon, Flipkart, some of them like industry, important thing like Walmart. Few of these industries uses data analysis to get more orders or to get more profits and all. That is one kind of end use case. And next in the healthcare sector as well, we can use data analysis. One example can be hospitals, fine. Insurance things. pharma. Okay. In the pharmaceutical as well, we can say one kind of an example like drug analysis. So how a kind of drug is being performed on different disease-prone patients. Based on the scientific results, we can also help the scientists as well to improve the efficiency levels of that particular drug as well. That is another example you can say in the drug analysis, mostly in the healthcare sector. Let us say next one is banking sector. Banking sector nowadays is an important one which uses data analysis mostly. I will tell you one real life scenario for this banking sector. So if you observe in the banking sector, you're getting some spam calls asking for you to take the loans and credit cards, right? If you observe, does each and every customer present in the bank will be getting these calls? Whoever has the account in the bank, does each and every customer are going to get the calls to take the loans and credit cards?
Do more transactions.
No. Then how come they are going to identify the potential list of customers whom they can target? How come they are going to do this? Because analysis. Because if I am the person, if I have an account, let us say in any of a private bank, let us say I will do nothing. Okay, I will do nothing, but I still have an account there. And if they call me and give me the loans, I will take it, but I will not pay it. What will happen? The CIBIL score will go, right? But when I'm doing nothing, it doesn't mean even if the CIBIL score is more or less for me. But if they give me 10 lakhs of loan, that is a waste of money for the bank. If it happens with the 100 clients, they have been lost 1 crore of money. That is the loss of business, loss of money for the client. So now, to overcome all these kind of situations, they need to find out the potential list of customers whom the bank can target and give them the loans. So it's fine. We need the potential list of customers. Then how come they are going to identify it? It is not an easy kind of task for an employee of bank sitting in there to go through each and every customer profile and identify for whom they can give the loan. Right? It's not an easy kind of task because there will be lakhs of customers will be present in the bank. And it's not an easy kind of task for them to go through each and every customer profile manually to find out. And it is not also kind of easy thing to just give the loan for all the salaried persons. Suppose if I'm having a salary account, let us say, what if I lose my job in the next upcoming 1 month, right? I have a salary account. If I lose my job and if I'm not going to get the salary after I get the 3 months loan, what will happen? Still there is a loss of business, there is a risk of business happening. So now there is a requirement of an analysis here to find out the potential list of customers. So usually the project which we are going to explain will also relate to this. So here he will be going to gather the customer details like it can be his age, his educational background, his job background, his even marital status, his properties kind of thing. And if he has taken any loans earlier, how come they are repaying it? The status of this entire thing they will gather, they will analysis upon that, and they will find out the kind of customers whom they can target. It is not kind of give loan to this applicant, not the kind of thing, not we are going to provide that kind of things. We will be going to explain them, give the loan if the customer is ranging in the age group of 25 to 30, that's fine. You can give him the loan. If he has he is in the age group of 25 to 30, and if he or she has the education background of this, if he or she has the experience level of this, so we will give some kind of recommendations to the bank. If the customer, whoever is applying for the loan, or if the customers, whoever is having in your bank is falling in this range, then go for them. They are the potential list of customers for you. Go ahead and call them, give them the loans, nothing will happen. That's what we are going to do. So let's continue. So that's how we can identify the potential list of customers in the bank, and we can help the bank to go to the correct customers whom they can repay them well without losing the business. That is one kind of a scenario. Let us go with the next scenario, that is sports, that you have been mentioned earlier. Sorry?
DLS.
DLS. Okay, you're saying DLS method. Okay, let's not get into that. But DLS is not a kind of thing that we are going to do. I will tell you one. We have been already seen this one. Whatever I am telling you might have been already known. Coming to, let us say, one kind of sport we will take. Let us say cricket. Each and every cricket team nowadays, we can see they're having data analyst with the team. Does anyone know that analyst we call them in the teams? Who is going to help them in winning the games, like understanding the tactics of the opponents, right? Suppose if there is a player in their own team and if he is not performing well, let us say, he is out of form. So he might be facing issues with some kind of a deliveries coming with the bowler. Let us say any kind of batsman, if he is facing an issues for a ball that is coming inside. Okay, how come he is going to overcome that? To overcome that, we need to identify what is the problem with that particular batsman first. To identify that, we are going to analyze what are the kind of strokes that particular batsman is making for different kind of deliveries, right? If we can analyze, I think most of you know the cricket knowledge, because if I say some of the things, if you don't have knowledge, it might be not able to understand. Let us say if a ball is coming from different kind of pitches, like short length ball, good length ball, full length ball, Yorker, let us say. Let us take these 5 categories. There is a categorical data. The kind of ball, where is the ball is pitching. That is a column, let us say. It's a kind of categorical data. Categorical data column, you know, right? What is it meant by categorical data?
Yes.
Right? Numerical, categorical are the two kind of different data sets. So numerical we have numbers. So age group will come as numerical, right? So educational status, categorical. It can be bachelor's, master's, intermediate, that kind of thing. So here the ball is coming from, let us say, short length, good length, upper length, as well as full toss intensity. These are the 4 different categorical data that particular column is having. We will identify how much is the strike rate for that particular batsman for different kind of categories. Like we can do the group by that particular column, and we will take the mean of that strike rate. Simple. We can easily able to identify what is the strike rate of that particular batsman in coming in from different lengths. So we can give that suggestion to the batsman. So these balls are facing some issues. You need to focus upon these area balls so that your game can be, right? That is the kind of analysis that we can perform on the batsman in the cricket, right?
Yes.
So kind of, and that kind of analysis we can perform in the cricket, not just in the cricket. It can be even used in any kind of sport. You can take any sport nowadays. Every sport, every team is having analyst to them. So the main aim of the analyst there is to come up with the winning strategies, right? Identify what is the weak points in the opponents and strong points in their own team, and how come they are going to win the game. That is the most important aim of the analyst, to help them in the games. Overall, it's up to the players in the field, but before entering into the field, the analyst is the main person who is going to help them. Okay, so that is one kind of an example in the sports. Next, let us go to the logistics. So logistics is simply delivering the things from one place to another place. So delivering the things is required lot of things, like one example, starting example only we told that delivering the food item from restaurant to the customer, how much is the distance, right? So let us see in the bigger aspect, not just the food item. Let us say the same e-commerce company, how come they are going to deliver the product to you? If you are ordering, let us say, a mobile phone, the mobile phone is present in the warehouse of Mumbai, let us say. You are ordering it for Hyderabad. So how come they are going to deliver your product from Mumbai to Hyderabad? Transport. So what is the important aspect any company can have in their mind when they're delivering the product from Bangalore, or suppose it is Mumbai to Hyderabad?
Area-wise units.
Sorry?
Area-wise logistic warehouse or godown.
Means I will ask in particular, what is the overall aim of that particular company they will have when delivering the things?
Customer safely in time.
In time. Okay, next thing, safety, packaging. Okay, I am expecting one more answer. Quality.
How to deliver.
Okay, how to deliver?
Marketing.
Marketing. Okay,
Operational cost.
operational cost. Cost is the important thing, because I can deliver it to from Mumbai to Hyderabad for 1,000 rupees also. Even I can deliver it for 2,000 rupees also, right? The cost is the important thing which we need to have in mind. We need to deliver it as low as possible. But at that time, we have also have to keep in mind that we need to deliver it quickly as well. If I am delivering the product within 2 days, it will be a good experience for the customer. He will place more orders. And if you are thinking like I can deliver it for 500 rupees, but it will take 1 week of time, customer feedback will not be good. So we need to handle all these kind of situations. But at the end of the day, what is the important thing they need to take care is they need to deliver the things quickly with less amount of time as well as less amount of money as well. Right? With less amount of money, with less amount of time. So that's what the data analyst is going to help them in the logistics. So to come up with this idea or to reduce the cost, to reduce the time of delivery, how come he is going to help them in the logistics is the approach here of data analyst. So it can be choosing the right set of vehicle. So for delivering the mobile phone, just we can't send it over the airlines so that we can send it in 1 day. That will be a lot of operational cost. And we can't send it over the truck as well. It will be again lot of time. Railways we can opt, but to opt for the railways as well, we need to take care of the product quality as well. How it comes, it is going to reach as well. So if it is having waterways, is it possible to send it over the waterways to Mumbai to Hyderabad? It's not possible, right? So to Mumbai to Kerala, we can send it to the waterways because there is a single route. But if you need to travel across the Arabian Sea to Bay of Bengal, that is again a lot of money waste, right? So we need to keep in mind all these things. That's why I'm saying at the starting of the introduction part, analytics mindset is very much important to become a data analyst. So we need to think in various aspects. So to make out all these things, which vehicle they need to choose, which route they can follow. Okay, if they're connecting, suppose let us say they're traveling it from Mumbai to Hyderabad. In between, they have few more orders they need to deliver at, let us say, what can be Nagpur, let us say. If they can travel over the Nagpur, they can deliver few things there and they can travel to Hyderabad. So in that place, they can deliver few things in the Nagpur that can have them same operational cost that they're delivering to Hyderabad. So that will save them some money. Instead of delivering only from Hyderabad to Mumbai to Hyderabad and delivering through Nagpur through Hyderabad, it will save them some money. Some orders will be delivered. So in that way, they will allocate the products to different kind of vehicles and different kind of warehouses, so that they can deliver the things quickly with less amount of time and less amount of. So this is the overall aim of a data analyst in the logistics. Okay. So can I get some examples from your end apart from this? Some sector examples apart from this, where we can use data analysis mostly in their data. Real estate, fine, good example. Education, still can have a lot of things. Manufacturing, textiles, defense, automobile, good. Everywhere we can use. Even movies, politics, OTT platforms. Still, what else we can have?
Apps.
Sorry?
Apps, applications.
Okay, we'll generalize the apps. Fine. So these are all the few other sectors apart from these where we can use data analysis in the day-to-day operations. So let us continue with the next slide. Anyone have any doubts?
I have a very basic question. Can you differentiate the client?
Differentiate?
Who is the client? Is it company's client or is the company who is giving BPO services to some sub company?
But for which aspect you are asking?
In any company, client. I think there are two types of clients. One is the owner, the capital company who gives the data to process and give the insight. Another one is BPO. Right? For example, take that client. He will work with different companies.
Yeah, that's the kind of client services. So consultancy services, what we call them. Suppose if you take TCS, TCS is a consultancy service. They don't have their own products in the TCS. If you move to Tata Motors or something else, that will be their own products. But coming to TCS, Tata Consultancy Services, it is going to offer services to other clients. But if you go to Amazon, Amazon have its own product. That is a product based. So those are the two things. So if you, what will happen is, if there is a client who is performing the, let us say, food deliveries, he is just requiring the knowledge of any person just for that particular problem statement. They don't require a data analyst with them for many years. Just they want for that particular scenario. So they will reach out to some consulting service. This is our problem. Try to give the solutions. This is the deal they will talk about. And if after completing the project, they will. That's it. So if they hire a data analyst for that role, they need to give them the salary for many years. That is a waste of money. In that way, they will wait. Solve your query. Yeah.
So I'm working in a service-based company. I got like something like a pharmaceutical company. So I have a reports to generate over that. So I don't have any knowledge towards the pharmaceutical.
Okay.
So how could we deal with this kind of situation?
Main thing is we need to have the domain knowledge first. If we don't have the knowledge, we need to gather the knowledge. We need to ask many questions, then only we can gain the knowledge. Suppose let us say I'm dealing with pharmaceutical company as you told. If you don't have the knowledge, we need to first gain the domain knowledge. We need to ask the clients the questions. So what is this factor? What is this particular column? Why you are using this column? What is the use case of this particular column? So the client will answer you. So in that process, you will gain the business knowledge. So for a data analyst, domain knowledge is also very much required. So in whichever area you are working, that domain knowledge you need to have in mind. Suppose if you are dealing with the banking sector project, you need to have the terminology of the banking. Right? If you're dealing with the sports, I told earlier, there is a good lane ball, short lane ball, and Yorker lane ball. If you don't know what is an Yorker, how come you are going to analyze that data? Right? If you don't know, simple. Just go Google it, learn it. What is a Yorker lane ball? What is a short lane ball? If you don't know anything like the terminology in the pharmaceutical, go and learn it. Even I will be doing the same thing. When I joined the Deloitte, I don't know anything regarding the accounting. So I need to go on what is the general ledger, what is the trial balance, what is meant by reconciliation. I even don't know what is meant by reconciliation when I'm joining in the Deloitte. Yeah, so I don't know anything regarding these things. I will go and learn those things and I will apply those things in the project.
We do analysis in tax also.
Everywhere we have.
In Deloitte also.
Deloitte we have. Okay. Fine. Let's get on to this one. So who is a data analyst? The person who is responsible for analyzing the data to find out the insights. That person we call him as a data analyst. So there isn't much thing I think I can say here, but let me just correlate before data analyst. Who is the person that is going to give you the data?
Client,
Not the client. Client will have the data, but who will give you the data?
customers.
Database.
How come the data is coming into database?
They store, company stores each and every
Company don't provide you the database to you directly.
tools. What do you
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Who will perform that RDBMS things? Data engineer. Data engineer is the person who is going to come into the picture for the first time in the project. Data engineer will pick up the data from the company's database, that is the client database, into the company's database. Sometimes what will happen is the company won't give the data. The exact data they won't give sometimes. That's how we are dealing in the Deloitte as well. They won't give you the direct data. They will give you the structure of the data. Right? Suppose if the banking is there, if they directly give you the customer name, customer ID, customer number, whatever the company's customer details, it is not a kind of secure banking, right? If you're having an account, if he is giving the bank is giving your data to everybody, how come it is going to be secure? Right? It is not going to be secure thing. So the kind of data structure what they are following, they will provide it to the companies. That's how it will be coming. How we are also dealing as of in the company. So the data engineer is responsible for you, for a data analyst actually to get you the data from the companies or else the client database into the organization's database securely. Most important thing is security is the most important thing. Data security. Okay. So after that, the data analyst portion will start. He will clean the data, will analyze the data. After that, data scientist will come into the picture, where he will apply some machine learning models, some predictions he will do. He will build up a model that will have good efficiency levels to predict the future. So this is how the overall data related kind of. So data engineer, data analyst, and data scientist. Okay.
So what is the difference between data engineer and data analyst?
Data engineer is responsible for getting the data by performing some ETL process. ETL, you know, extract, transform, and flow. We have separate kind of tools for it. can be Informatica, it can be Snowflake, these kind of things they will follow. They will create a pipelines kind of data. These pipelines they will create from the client side to this to get the data securely. That is the role of a data engineer. Whereas data analyst is going to gather the data from the company's database, that is the organization's database. From there, he will get the data, he will transform it, he will clean it, analyze it, and give the results. So some companies they won't have the data engineer. The same person need to perform the whole activity. He only need to get the data, he only need to transform the data, everything he only need to perform. So it all depends upon the organization. How big the amount they're having, how much is the budget of that project. Based on that, they will allocate the costs. If they're having good amount of budget, they will allocate more budgets. Right? That's how we know. Anything else? Any doubts? No, not duplication. Suppose let us say there is a table general ledger details. I will not go much into it. Let us say customer details. So usually when you take customer details, what are the kind of data you will store? Let us say the customer account number and customer name, their age, their mobile number, their email ID, or else let us say their account balance. These details generally they will store. But in particular, if the account number is let us say 10 digit, it is not required for me to give the exact 10 digit. I can give any kind of 10 digit. If let us say customer account number is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It is not required for the company to give me the exact account number. He can give me 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3. Got it?
Yes.
The customer name is Harish. It is not meaningful that he need to give the Harish. He can give XYZ name. That is the kind of structure of the table. So the physical structure of the table is what is required. What is the physical structure of the table? Anybody know? What is the physical structure of the table? What we call that name? Not data frames. Yeah, in SQL we'll get that. SQL. No, SQL is a kind of language. I'm asking what is the physical structure of the table we call generally? Data set? Not data set.
Database.
What is the schema? Schema. Anybody heard the name schema? SCHEMA. What is the schema? In simple terms, what we call as a schema? It is nothing but a blueprint of your tables. When you are building a house or any kind of, let's say, any one building you need to, suppose you want to construct, you need to have a plan in front, right? Where you need to have this, how much length is the walls, is everything the complete structure or architecture of that building you need to have. In the similar way, you need to have a schema before you build any kind of table. You need to go and make a kind of structure of this is the table. We don't have the board here actually. You should need to have a customers table here. This customers table need to link with what? The products table. The product table linked to what? Like the relationship between the tables we need to perform. That's how the joints we will perform, right?
Yes.
So for joints, we need to have some kind of common column between them. If you have a common column between them, there exists a relationship between those tables. So that's how the schema diagram. So that kind of schema, if we can have, it will be easy for us to get the duplicate of the data. Okay, that's how the structure I make this. Hope it is clear. Anyone have any other doubts? Okay, actually, some real life examples of data analysis. So we are using it for analyzing polls and surveys. As earlier, I got one example like political parties. So during elections time, it is important for them to analyze the voter percentage, right? Which age group people are going to vote for that particular party? How come they are going to improve that? So caste based also in India it is important to analyze on the caste based. So which kind of caste based people are going to give the votes to this particular political party? What are the chances that he is going to win in the elections? Like these kind of prediction systems and analyzing the voter percentage is also being done with the help of data. That is one example. I am detecting the fraud transactions in the banking sector. So if any kind of new a kind of detection has been happened in this kind of a fraud, in the future we will be going to very much carefully using data analysis. Will identify the system that can detect the fraud transactions and stop. Okay, and serving customers with useful product is a kind of recommendation systems, I can say. It can be any kind of thing. Suppose if you're watching something in the OTT platforms or Netflix, anything. When you are watching something, it will provide you some recommendations. People who watch this also watch this. If you go to Amazon, people who brought this also brought this item. For buying a mobile phone, they will show below mobile screen guard, mobile case, mobile charger, like this kind of recommendations they will provide. That is a kind of serving customers with useful products kind of example. Next one is marketing campaign for business. Let us see some use case which we haven't seen till now. Movies, let us talk. Let us see how movies is going to do this. Marketing campaigns in the sense, let us say, a new movie is getting released. Promotions and marketing is the most important thing for that particular movie, so that they can reach out to more number of audience, so that they can get more opening collections. Because that is the most important thing nowadays, to get the collections within 1 week of the release of movie. So if they need to get the collections within 1 week, what is the important thing they need to have? They need to reach out to more number of audience. They need to create an interest in the audience so that they can come and watch them. So how come they are going to do that? With the help of analyst also, it is being possible. What are the kind of, it can be social media, it can be performing some interviews, okay, it can be going to the audience and into the public and creating some kind of activities so that they can get interact with them. These kind of things. Sorry? Mass media. Yeah. These all things we can perform. But nowadays it's been changed overall in the movies sector. The role of a data analyst usually earlier it is going to come after shooting of the movie, but nowadays it's coming before starting the project itself. Can anyone guess why?
From starting only.
Starting movie, okay. One more main aspect I want to release. Okay, fine. That is also another factor. I'm interesting about one more big factor nowadays. Latest trend in the movies.
Type of movie.
Okay, type of movie, the genre of
Curiosity.
the genre of that movie. Okay, I will convert that everything in the genre. Pan India movies.
Name of the director.
I'm talking about the Pan India movies. Why it is required for a Pan India movie to require an analyst? Because the actors or actress whom you are going to bring into the movie is the one factor that is going to get more audience get interested as. If you take any movie nowadays, if you see, people are coming from different industries, right? Any movie if you take, let us take any movie. So in that, the actors are coming from different industries. Some from Bollywood, one actor is from Karnataka, one from Malayalam, one from Hollywood. Like this, various people they are covering. So why they are covering these many people?
To cover
all the industries, to cover most number of the people to come and watch the movie. If in Pushpa Fahad Fasil is there, who will come and watch? Malayalam, right? Simple factor. So they need to go and gather the actor or actress. Which actor or actress will bring more number of audience to their movie in the opening days? I'm saying in general, not in particularly percentage. I'm generally saying they are going to target those kind of actor or actress so that they can bring more number of audience to the opening of the movie. So that's what I'm just okay. So in that way, the data analyst has been having a role in the movie industry as well from the beginning of the movies. Okay, that is an example I wanted to give. Okay, any doubts? So why to become a data analyst? Why are you choosing this course? Why are you learning this? To get a good job, right? If you want to get a job, you can go with any other course, right? Why you chose data analyst? Because that's the trend in the market, right? Any other thing apart from the trend?
In future,
Don't I'm passionate about data analysis. I don't think that is a good thing, right?
If we have data, then we can control.
Control? Okay, fine.
billions of amount data is generating day by day.
Yeah.
So we need to know data.
That's important. So we have the trend of a data analyst nowadays. More I can say is data. Data is the important thing nowadays. Information is wealth. That's what we can say nowadays. That's a current generation thing. Data is wealth. If we have the data, we'll have everything. So let us see a few examples for that. So here I am saying by the year 2025, it will be one of the trending jobs in the market. But you can see now itself it is a trending job. But in the coming years, it will still going to increase. So why I am saying it is a good thing to become a data analyst means you will get the job easy. You will go honestly. Don't say I'm passionate. Don't say I'm interested in data and want to become a data analyst. Some people will say this. But let's go with the real thing. Honestly speaking, why you want a job? To earn money. So if you can learn the skill, that will give you a lot of money. People will tend to learn that. That's the main important thing that we are doing this. So to become a data analyst, we require good package. We need to get a good role in the company as well, not just the package itself. You need to get a good role as where you can get and improve your skills. That is also important. You need to have. So this data analyst job is going to be trending in the market, as one of you have been told. A lot of data is getting generated. So why a lot of data is getting generated?
India is transforming to digital age.
Digital, fine. Good example. So let us get deep into this. Let us take one real-time scenario. So
digital correct, we are saving all the.
Okay, that are examples. I will overall view. I will say okay. Whatever you people are telling, it is correct. Those are examples. I will tell you the overall view of it. So let us say usage of internet. So how much of data of you are using per day nowadays currently?
Per day 5 GB to 10 GB.
5 GB to 10 GB, very huge. Okay, fine. Let us take because he might be using. That's not an. Some person will say I'm using just 500 MB. You can't say that you are not using well because that's his own opinion, right? Okay, still 2 GB. So can I say on an average 2 GB per day?
Yes.
Easily.
Yes.
Just think about 3 to 4 years back. What is the average of data that person can use per day?
10 GB, 2 GB. 50 MB. 50 MB.
Not less, very 100 MB. 100 MB is very less.
Yes.
Let us generalize 1 GB. Okay, 1 GB we will fix. 3 to 4 years back, when people are using 1 GB per day, the same people are nowadays are using 2 GB of day. How much percentage of increment is it? 100%. When people are using 1 GB of day per day 3 to 4 years back, the same person if he is using 2 GB per day now, it's a kind of 100% increment there. The usage of internet has been happening. For what people are using this much of internet? What has been changed from the past 3 to 4 years and now? Banking transactions, social media, OTT platforms, right? Online transactions, ticket bookings, food deliveries, right? Still what else? Okay, bill payments and traveling, Uber, Ola, Rapidos, bus tickets, train tickets, entertainment tickets. Let us take entertainment tickets. Let us say movie tickets. Let us take an example of Book My Show. Let us focus upon Book My Show. Earlier, people used to go to theaters, stand in a line, and buy a ticket. If you remember that. But nowadays, anyone is booking. It means anyone going into the line, even though the complete theater is empty, nobody is going to stand in line. I think nowadays. Anyone doing that? I don't think so.
But
Right?
some people will go because everyone is booking for online. There is some tickets.
But how much case you can say that? How much percentage of people? Very, very less I can say.
Yes.
Even not even 10 to 15%.
Yes.
That is very, very less. It is a very rare scenario people are going there. But we will take most scenario case. Even I also book in the online itself, even if the entire theater is free there. Right? So we have been used to do that. So when you book a movie ticket, just like at the starting example, when you order a food item, the data will be stored. In the same way, when you book a movie ticket, the same way the data will be stored. Who is booking, how many tickets he is booking, which movie or which entertainment he is booking, where he is booking, how he is making the payment is also important.
And which theater?
Yeah, which theater, okay. And gender is also important.
Yeah.
Who is booking, which kind of gender people is booking the ticket. So that we can say male people are booking these many tickets per year, female tickets are these many, like that kind of insight they can target upon those gender people. And also I am telling about payment mode. Okay, how he is making the payment.
Like
is he using credit card, debit card,
UPI.
or is he using UPI, or is he using the bank or like my show wallet itself? Based on that, what they will do, they will collaborate with those banks or those kind of things to give them offers, so that they can get more tickets as well. Simple, okay. So these kind of things has been happened because of it. There is a lot of data gathering has been improved. As you told earlier, when there is a lot of data is being there, it is required for an analyst to analyze the data to get the problem statement solution there. Okay, so this is the reason why there is a huge trend of data analysis jobs in the market. Okay, anyone have any doubts in this? Why to become a data analyst now? You can say you are interested, but still we need to speak in terms of the numbers. Okay, you have the interest, and if you learn something, and if you're not getting the job, you will lose the interest upon that. So to stay interested on that field that you have been chosen, you need to have the end product as well for that. That is a job. That also easily you can get the job. That is also important. So this skill is like a kind of skill that will give you that opportunity to excel in your career quickly, to get more package with less amount of experiences.
So the same question of the interviewer.
Mhm.
So how can we say we are?
For them, you can't say honestly, right?
Yeah.
In the interviews, if they'll ask you why to become a data analyst, then you don't say I want package. You need to say I'm passionate about data analysis at that. Right? That's how we will do. You need to say, don't say that there is a lot of data gathering. Don't say these all things. We will say these for you, but even I will say these for you. If I go to interview, I will say that I'm passionate about data analysis. I enjoy analyzing the data. So like that only we need to say. Some cream biscuits we need to apply that. Right? That's how we need to praise all of them.
But how do you factor because like by nature how much why data is so important?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So what are the skills you need to learn to become a data analyst?
Except that also.
We all know this. I think you're all learning these things here. So these are all things are necessary, but I can say like if everything is required. You need to have knowledge so that you can apply for multiple jobs. If somebody is asking for Python and Tableau, and if you don't know Python, you are losing an opportunity to apply. Some people will ask SQL and Tableau. If you don't know Tableau, you are losing an opportunity. So it is a good to have whatever the skills the organizations are required. All the skills, if you have it in your resume, you can apply for 100 jobs there. You can't be able to use even one there. So that it is required for you to learn all these skills from basic to advanced is very much important. Okay. So Python, we all know what Python is used for, mostly for cleaning the data, understanding the data. For SQL, we can get the insights by writing the small SQL queries. We can get the insights about that. I can't say from Python we can't get insights. I'm not saying that. Main important thing what we can get using this skill. Microsoft Excel, it is kind of just opening the data, perform some kind of simple transformations upon that, get some pivot tables, get the summary of the data. If the data is small, if your data is more than 10 lakhs or 20 lakhs, Excel can't open that data first of all. It will truncate the data and it will give you. So I think so Excel is having a limitation about 13 lakhs, I think. It won't give you open the complete data if it has more than 13 or 14 lakhs. It will truncate, which means it will give only 10 lakhs out of the 14 lakhs. That's why you will not use Excel much for the visualization purpose. But Tableau and Power BI, these are the most powerful visualization tools that will help us in building the visualization, whatever is the data size. I can say Tableau can handle more data better than Power BI. Power BI has some data visualization, means data limitation. So, but Tableau will have the capacity to store more data to build the visualizations. Okay. So these are the skill sets which you need to learn to become a data analyst. We have it in your resume. Important. If you have these in your resume, nowadays resumes are automatic. Nobody is going to be, they will go through some software, they will give some score based on the job description. And if that score is more than that threshold, your profile will be shortlisted. Hope you all know how the process is, right?
ATS.
ATS. Okay. So that's how we do this.
If we have knowledge on this tool, we are getting job in one company where we are using only Python and Microsoft Excel and Tableau. Then after what is the minimum period we can stay in one company? Is it?
I can't say that. It all depends upon the persons, right?
Okay. If you, so we have a gap of 2 years where we didn't touch Python after getting a job. So after 2 years, when you want to change a very challenging job in another company, so when we will forget all Python, right?
It's not. You need to have that in touch. You should not forget what you have been learned. That's how in the software, which is a government job, nobody will ask you why you are doing further. But here, if you want to switch, you need to have everything in mind. Even though if you're not applying it in the job, at least try to do some projects. Okay, like outside, or else at the time of you wanted to feel like, okay, I'm done here. I wanted to switch to some other company to get some other better package or some better skill set and all. You need to learn it once again, start from the scratch. Even I am also did the same last year. So I'm been in Infosys. I haven't used Python there much. I haven't used Power BI much. But when I'm applying for Deloitte, I required this. I again learned it. Means I have already learned it, but again I need to go through each and everything from the basic. So that's how we do. And after entering into that, they will not ask Python at all. That is another important that will be left to the industry. We don't know why they interview on the skill, but after entering into that industry, they will use some other skill. So it's a kind of continuous learning.
Do we have mentor in the company to guide us? Because data analyst job is running. So once we get in the company, they will give us the data. So do we have any mentor?
Yeah, obviously seniors will be there. So don't worry about that. Seniors will be there. They will be going to help. Okay, but you need to have that knowledge in you. Yes. Even though if they're explaining something, if you're not able to grasp, they can't do anything. Right? They will tell you, okay, try to follow this method, try it in this way. They tell you to apply the group by. If you don't know what is a group by, how come the senior is going to help, right? So you need to have the core complete knowledge. If you're confused on how I need to follow this, they will give you some suggestions. If, okay, follow this step, follow this step. You can able to solve it. So don't worry, organizations will have the seniors who are going to help you. Okay. Any other doubts? I'm done with this. Any other doubts, please?
We have a huge data, and the particular column is very important, and we have huge null values. So how we can able to know that we have to change this only specified method for FL or MFIL or value.
So first of all, we need to identify how much is the percentage of missing in the particular column.
Okay.
So let us say basic thumb rule is about if it is missing around 50% of the data, that column is not useful for us. And if you feel like the column is required, again you need to get back to the client, this column is required, but we are having this much of missing data. So we need to ask them. Okay. So let us say if it is having important column, let us say, and it is having less than 50% of missing data, which means around 40% of the data is missing. Let us say some null values has been there. So we need to fill that missing values using some methods based on the data type of that column. Let us say if it is a numerical column, what are the methods we can follow to fill the null values?
Statistics, mean,
Statistics like mean and
median.
median. Mode can we use?
Majority, what is the high frequency?
I'm asking about numerical column. Can we use mode method to include for a mode for a numerical column? Suppose if I'm using about salary.
No.
You can't use it, right? That's what I'm saying. Mode is not a correct method to impute the null value. The column is a numeric. It is a categorical. Mode is the best. Okay. If the same, I'm asking about gender. Gender is a categorical column. And if it is having 40% of the missing values, we will use the mode method there. Whatever is the highest repeated value that we will use and we will include it. Because gender is an important column for us there. In that way, we can do it. If it is having more than 50%, we can't do it. Even some people will delete it, that particular column, if it is having more than 40% also. So it all depends upon the use case. But overall is, if it is 50%, that column is used response. Okay. Any other doubts?
In your personal experience, how many data analysts are required to have on
Size of the project?
general, maybe three or how many?
Can't say directly that it all depends upon the data set and the client also. How much is the project size? So it all depends upon various factors. I told already the budget thing. So if he is doing less budget, he will hire one person and he will do it for 6 months. If they want it within 3 months and if they're giving a good amount of budget, they will go for 2 to 3 members. So it's all depends upon the business case scenarios. So many things will involve, and it is not with respect to us. It all depends upon the management. They will take the decisions. But overall, how much hours of data or how much hours of work we can do that the management will know. Let us say, suppose per hour per day, if he is going to not 8 hours, 6 hours, let us say, because 8 hours in the sense it all some meetings will be there, some break time, everything if you take it out. Let us say 6 to 6.5 hours per day a person can work. So based upon that, the scrum teams will be there. There will be a lot of things management level managers will be taking care. How many hours is required for this? So if one person is allocated, how many days it will take? If we can take more persons, how many days it will take? What is the client require? Based on that only management will decide how many persons they can. We can't say directly. If we are using some capstone project also, that is based upon hours, right? So we can't say which project will take how many.
In this scenario, how many days is going to take?
Cleaning the data. Again, you're asking scenarios that can't explain directly. Suppose if it having 100 columns and some data set is having only 10 columns, there is a variation, right? For cleaning 100 columns and cleaning 10 columns, let us say I will go with 100 columns. And how many rows of data? Let us say it is having 10 lakh of rows. Okay, because I don't want to skip every question that you are asking. I will take the general case scenario. It is having 100 columns and having a rows of 10 lakhs. It will take maximum not more than 1 week. Okay, because the data set is issue is there, and we need to analyze 100 columns and all. 1 week can be sufficient.
So what are the complications for a fresher or data analyst?
Complications is business domain knowledge. Okay, some organizations will require to ask you like you candidate need to have a knowledge regarding the e-commerce, regarding the pharmaceutical. They will ask something. So that is one kind of scenario which we need to handle. Okay, when you're applying for the job, if they're asking for are you having any e-commerce knowledge, say yes and apply. Then learn it. Learn few terms in e-commerce. Okay, that's how we do. So main thing is business knowledge. Business domain knowledge is the important thing that we need to have as a data analyst. And another important thing is handling various scenarios that is not kind of fixed. It will be dynamically, it will be going to change, like the kind of outliers that you know. It's not a fixed kind of thing that I need to use mean for each and every time to fill an outlier. There will be so many things we need to have in mind, that to choose mean or median. Which one is the best thing? After filling those values, we need to visualize and see which one to use. That also we need to have. So these all things we need to keep in mind. Okay? Anything else?
What is your technical background?
Skill set?
BTech or?
BTech. I'm after in 2020. BTech. And currently I'm using the skill set of Azure Databricks for transformations of data. Yeah. And also using PySpark for writing down the code to transform. And Python is almost similar to PySpark. I don't want to say again Python. So SQL I will use Tableau and Power BI. These are the skills I'm using, both in inputs and analytics.
We use two tools, sir. Power BI and Tableau. Both are
But two tools in the sense, Azure is the backend of this complete thing. The underlying structure is Microsoft Azure. It will have Azure Data Factory, Azure Data Lake, Azure Synapse Analytics. These all things are in the backend of the project. So we need to work upon the Azure database. After getting the data from the Azure Data Factory, that is ETL is going to be done with the data engineer. After getting the data, my role is there to get the data and clean it. Clean it by writing the PySpark code. Okay, because I know Azure Databricks is the platform that will be going to handle the large number of data, that is big data.
So we use normal techniques.
No, we will use SQL. No SQL, we are not using.
Do data analysts need good communication skills?
Definitely we need to.
And do we need to present our data to the client by explaining that we get by giving presentation?
Yeah, if it is required, definitely we need to do that. Because data analyst is the person who need to have a skill of good storytelling. We need to explain the story to him with the help of visualizations. So you need to have a good storytelling. So to have a good storytelling knowledge, you need to have a good communication skills. Should not have any kind of fear talking to the people. You know, to even stand in front of 100 people and you explain the data that you have been analyzed. So communication skills are required. Don't fear. Just within matter of 1 or 2 years, definitely will be able to.
To every company are using versatile electron.
Not like that.
Embellatory.
Is that what was it?
Versatile and embellatory.
For what?
Communication. Test.
Version. That is a basic exam every developer needs, every employee in the developer needs to take. You need to have some C score with their communication excellence score. This is the level you need to have for your level of PPT. Okay, anything, any thoughts?
So suppose assume that I am working in finance field. So assume that I am working in a finance domain. So I want which field is better to apply out of 5 industries which you also retail or marketing
Banking sector is the finance.
and logistics or procurement.
Logistics is a kind of mixed kind of things. So I can say knowledge regarding the travelings, okay, kind of travel kind of knowledge. But finance related is banking is the best.
So do we have limitations like people who do become background, they can have knowledge only on the finance?
No, it's not.
We can.
If you have an analytic mindset, you can fit into any kind of business. Okay. Any other thoughts?
Good analysis, how to study all this five spark.
No, it's not. I told that. To be honestly speaking, they will not tell you you are going to use PySpark as well. I will tell you my scenario. I'm being interviewed in SQL only. They didn't even interview me for Python. They didn't interview me for even Tableau as well. Nothing. Just interviewed me with SQL, and they've been taking me to Deloitte. But after entering me to Deloitte, I have never used SQL technology. I'm being using Azure Databricks. This I'm honestly saying I'm using Azure Databricks only there.
You learned after getting.
I learned in after getting into there, and I have been developed the PySpark code for 2 to 3 years. So it all we need to adapt to the each and every scenario. It is not that they will provide you each and means exactly the kind of skill that you have. So definitely you need to have all these things in mind. If you know Python and SQL, then they only give you Python and SQL. It is not the scenario. They will test whether you are having the knowledge or not. In that it will be good if you can get the same in the same skill set. But so we can't guarantee that. You need to learn. You need to adapt into that situation. And you need to perform. Okay. Any other doubts? Or I'm trying to ask something. I think.
Yeah, I think it is personal or not us.
Sorry.
I think it's personal.
Okay, can ask me later then. Can you go for the problem? Okay, so today as part of this project, we will be going to discuss regarding the banking sector project. Okay. So for the banking project, here we require some of the knowledge regarding the why we are doing this. We need to understand the problem. Have you gone through this before or we are
No, they don't.
Okay, so can just read it out. So it is not just regarding the banking, it is a kind of non-banking financial institution size. So it is overall kind of any it's a kind of banking or non-banking. Anyone, because nowadays we all know not just the banks nowadays are offering the loans. So many online platforms are also offering the loans nowadays. So that's why I'm here facing loan providing companies. That's what I have been mentioned. So the loan providing companies, I think you can read it. Okay, just try to go through this. I'll explain. spot. So here, anything that you came, she have been like some kind of business technology. Do you know what is meant by defaulters? You guys got it? Defaulters.
Who fail to pay them?
Who fail to
Pay the amount.
pay the amount. You got anywhere?
Yes, second line.
Defaulter. So defaulter is one of a term we need to understand here. What is meant by defaulter? So defaulter means the person who has not paid the amount on time. On time we need to say EMI. So if you're taking the loan, we need to pay the EMIs. If the person is not paying the loan on that particular day, we consider that person as a defaulter. That's what is the meaning of a default. That is one kind of term we need to have in by the mind. So let us discuss this one. So here, the loan providing companies are trying to give the loan. They are trying to give the loans to customers who are going to repay them well and they need to gain the business. And that is their main goal, get in the form of interest. But what if the people are not paying the money? They are losing the business. So losing the business, it is having two different scenarios. If suppose I went to the bank or any kind of loan providing company, I'm having good track record, let us say. Okay, I will repay them then. But for some reason, they rejected my loan application. Is it not a loss of business? Or
Yes.
it's a loss of business for them. Why? Because I can pay them well. The interest that they're going to generate from me, they have been lost. So that's a loss of business. Let us take the next scenario. I went to the bank. I don't have a good track record of paying the money. I have taken the 2 to 3 loans, but I haven't paid any of that. But I still went to take the another loan in another bank. They have been approved my loan. I got the money and I didn't pay. Is it not a loss of business once again for the bank?
Yes.
So these are the two types of losing the business. If they don't give the loan to the correct person, they're losing the business. If they give the loan to the person who is not a correct one, or else not an eligible kind of customer, that is still a loss of business. So this is the problem the loan providing companies are facing it. So they wanted to exactly find out which customers they can give the loan, for whom they can give the loan. How come they are going to identify whether the customer is eligible or not? So based upon the data, whatever they have been having with them as of now, that is can be previous applicants and the current applicants, we need to provide them such a kind of scenarios so that they can identify who are the potential list of customers. I think I told you of the scenario of a banking example.
Yes.
This is the same example. Okay, so using the data, whatever we are having, we are going to identify who are the potential list of customers and we are going to help them. As I told earlier, we're not going to give this is the customer ID, give him the loan. This is the applicant ID, give him the loan. We are not saying that. We are going to identify two set of people. One is recommended, another is risky. Risky people, recommended people. So recommended people are the people who are going to be approved to the loan. So I will give some at the end product. I will give them the scenario that if the person is in the age group of 25 to 30, he is a recommended. If he is married, he is a recommended. If he is having a tertiary education, he is a recommended. If he is doing a job of having experience of 4 years, he is a recommended. If he is having an annual income of 10 lakhs, he is a recommended group. Like that, I will provide some recommendations. I will, at the same time, I will say risky group of people as. Okay. If he is unmarried or single, don't give him the loan. If he is unemployed, don't give him the loan. Like that, I will give the recommendations to the bank. Now, if a person is coming and applying the loan, he will compare his data with the recommended and risky. Okay. If he is which kind of group that particular person is belonging to, they will identify. Based on that, they will provide them. So that's what we are trying to do here. The final aim of this project is to identify the risky kind of group of people and who are the recommended group of people. I think that's something. Yeah.
Sir, but like companies are running a business. They can do and analytics. You go for so we normally recommend associate to them. After taking loan for that time, the business is collapsed. Then you cannot predict it.
So That is a scenario that is outside of our. So
When you want to consider this type of things also.
how come we are going to know that the person's bank? So
Yeah.
that's what. If you go to loans nowadays, the banks, they will see the project of your business space. What we can say, the overall structure of your business, and what is the income of your business is generating, and whether that particular business, how it is going to perform in the future also, here they are being considering. Suppose if you are opening a textile industry in particular area, they will see what are the different textile industries that particular area is having, how they are performing over the years. What is the scope of your business? Is it going to be loss or is it going to be profit?
Not only business, but also job also you can consider.
Yeah, that's what. So if you are working in a company that is not a kind of having good track record, they are being taking firing the employees like anything from the past years. So that is not a kind of company they want to consider this type of. Yeah, so definitely they will consider. But whatever the data that we are having, only those details only will use. If they have the details regarding these assets, nowadays the latest trend also I will say. Nowadays they are considering the social media assets, social media data. If suppose I am applying the loan, they are trying to get the data of my social media activity. Okay, how I am using the social media activities also nowadays being considered for giving the loans. It's the latest trend nowadays. If you want, you can go and search in the internet as well. Using the machine learning things and all, using the social media data of the customers to predict whether to give the loan to the customer or not. You can search in the internet, you will get it. This is the one of the latest trend. Now the banks are also being using to understand the what we say, how the customer is behaving, kind of behavioral segmentation. Okay, to analyze the behavior of the customer, they are trying to analyze the social media activity of that particular customer to provide the loans. There are various aspects they are developing.
It means that what the data you are doing, like you want to work on it.
Correct. If you want more, you need to ask them. But we can't say that bank will have the how many people. Suppose that company is hiring, or how many people that company is firing for every year. Right?
Out of the months there is no.
That's what. Whatever is the data that we are going to get, based on that we are going to give the details and insights.
Sir, is there anything like before approving the loan, the customer should assure a property or anything?
Yeah.
Previously, we should do that.
Not previously. Nowadays also we are doing that, but it all depends upon the amount of money that you are asking. If you are asking just for a personal loan of 10 lakhs, they will not ask any kind of security. But if you are asking
For MS, they are having that show me the property.
yeah, that's what. That's all depends upon how much you are asking. Right? If you're asking personal loan amount of 10 lakhs, they won't ask you any document. But if you're asking 15 lakhs for the house, they will ask you what is the security that you're going. So type of loan is also you need to have in mind that what the security they're asking. If you're asking for home loan, they will require some security. If you're asking for educational loan, they will require the security. If you're asking for personal loan, it is not required. But for personal loan, what is the maximum amount they can offer? That is also there. If you go and ask them, give me 20 lakhs of personal loan, they won't give. It all depends upon your salary. So if they can't offer you 25 lakhs of personal loan, but they can offer you 25 lakhs of house loan, and they can offer you 25 lakhs of educational loans like.
But they also need that there is government or private sector about the reservation like.
Yeah, based on all that, we will be going to decide how much is the amount that you are eligible for. Okay. So here, whatever the data that we are having, we are going to use those columns, and we are going to identify the risky group of people and recommended group of people. Okay, so that is our problem statement. Okay, so what else we have here? So I think here these two are the points which I'm talking about. If the applicant is likely to repay the loan, then not approving the loan results in a loss of business. Okay, that is the first case. And if he is not likely to repay the loan, that is here she is likely to default, then approving the loan may lead to the again financial loss for the company. So the data given will contain the information about the loan application at the time of applying for the loan. It contains two types of scenarios. So the client with payment difficulties and all other scenarios. And here these are the kind of categorical data that you can get. So when the client applies for the loan, there are 4 types of decisions that can be taken by the client. So what are those? He can approve it, he can cancel it, he can refuse it. He can, if even though he is approved, the client may not take the loan at the last. That is an unused option. You can go through these things, approved, what is cancelled, what is refused, and what is unused. Overall, that is the things. So let us see the data understanding. What are the data sets that we are going to have here? We are going to use the two data sets. The third one is about the column description that is not considered. So first one is application data. Next one is previous application. So the application data, it will contain all the information regarding the client at the time of application. And previous application means it contains the data regarding client's previous loan data. If it has been applied earlier, how it's being prepaid. So those two data sets we have application data and previous application. And third one, columns description. It's just a file that is going to explain you each and every column. So what is that column? What is the meaning of that column? There are, we will be going to get in a column. So first of all, when you are dealing with this, first go through this columns description. This columns description is going to help you in understanding the complete data set. So understanding of the data is important. So client data we are wanted to understand, just go through this columns description. It's a kind of complete columns. What is it regarding that column? We will be going to understand. And then what are the results that are expecting from the learners? You can see that. To present the overall approach of the analysis in the form of a presentation. And identify the missing data and use appropriate method to deal with. So removing the columns or replace it with an appropriate value. Okay. And how in here, note that in EDA things is not necessary to replace the missing value. But if you have to replace the missing value, what should be the approach? That approach also we need to mention there. Why you are using that approach? You are using mean as a method there. Why you are using mean? You are using mode. Why you are using the mode? Like that approach also we need to mention. Okay. And identify if there are any outliers in the data. Also mention why do you think it is an outlier? So it is not necessary that to remove any data points, but it is required you can do it. Okay. And identify if there is any data imbalance present. What is data imbalance? Anyone know what is data imbalance? Sorry.
Mismatch. It's out of the data.
Which is not sufficient. No. I will tell you one scenario. Let us say we are dealing with a data set of diabetes, prediction of diabetes. We will have a complete patient's data, and there is one column that is going to help us in predicting whether this person is diabetic or not, just like an yes or no kind of scenarios. A person will be there, diabetic, yes, which means this person can have in the future, he can go to diabetes. That is a kind of data set we are having. Let us say there are total 100 people we are having in that data. Out of 100 people, 90 people having value as no as a diabetes, 10 people are having yes as a diabetes. So that is what is we call it as a data imbalance. Why I am saying data imbalance is 90 people you are saying they are not having the diabetes. 10 people you are saying he is having the diabetes. And you are asking me to predict over some person and ask me to predict me that if he's having diabetes or not. Simply, I will say that he is not having the diabetes. What is the efficiency level I am going to get?
90%.
90% of the efficiency rate. 90% of the efficiency rate is good or not? It is very good. 90% is very good. But is it a correct way?
No.
What I'm doing here, I'm just predicting every person's output as known. Right? And I'm getting 90% of the efficiency. Efficiency is good, but it is not a correct approach. What if some persons are getting yes, but you are saying it is no, but you will get an efficiency, but that's not a correct one. So that is what we call as data imbalance. So the data whichever you are having is trying to manipulate your analysis. Okay. So if I'm having a data set that is going to having out of 100 people, 60 people are having diabetes and remaining 40 people are not having the diabetes. Now it is a good case scenario where 60 is to 40, that is around 60 is to 4, 3 is to 2 is the data imbalance. That is fine, 3 is to 2. But having 9 is to 1 is very much high, right?
Yes.
So that is the kind of data imbalance. What is what we call data imbalance is having the correct kind of balanced kind of data. Means how many persons are imbalanced, sorry, how many persons are having diabetes, how many persons are not having it. Coming to here, we are dealing the data with all the 90% people as an approved data who has been approved the loan, that is imbalanced data. If you are having kind of a gender based, and if you are dealing with a kind of 90 people are male people, 10 people are female people, that is a kind of data imbalance. So real time scenario, by you should have at least 60 40 40 60 70 30, fine, not more than. So that data imbalance also we need to keep in mind. So we here have been provided the hint as well how we do analyze the data in case of data imbalance. So but nowadays outside using the machine learning models and all, the data imbalance is also being treated. So we will be going to get the data, a balanced data, even though if your data is imbalanced. Okay, we have the techniques in the machine learning nowadays. Okay, so now we have a target variable in the data set. The name itself will be target. So target variable name itself is target. Okay. And you can see explain the results of univariate, segmented univariate, bivariate analysis in etc. in the business terms. What is univariate, bivariate, multivariate analysis?
Depends on single variable.
No, I'm not exactly. Can you please come again?
It depends. We can do analysis depending on only one variable.
Okay.
That is univariate. If it is two variables, it's bivariate, and more than that, it's multivariate.
So, single univariate in a sense is fine with one variable, but you are missing one more there. There will be two variables present in the univariate. One is frequency. No, frequency will get it with one column diagram. That is a kind of histogram. But I'm saying two variables will be there in the univariate.
Category.
Not categorical. Target variable. So why we are calling there univariate is you are trying to analyze the target variable with one variable. Okay. That's why we are calling it as a univariate. When you go with bivariate, you are trying to analyze the target variable with two variables. Multivariate, more than two. So for every scenario there, you are having a target variable. So target variable versus how many variables? That is what is going to define your univariate, bivariate, and multivariate analysis. Okay, so that as well we are going to explain in the results, and also try to find out the top 10 correlation of for the client with payment difficulties and all other cases. That's what I'm trying to say, that risky kind of group of people, risky group people, recommended group people. That is using the correlation, we'll be going to do it. What is meant by correlation?
Dependency.
Dependency between the variables. So how much is one variable dependent upon the another variable is what we call as correlation. So we are trying to identify which column is more depending upon the target variable. Simply, that's what is, we can find it out here. So the instructions you have to enter.
No instructions.
It means okay. I think these things you have been added. Okay, that's what I'm confusing. Okay, fine. So after performing these, I think we can also perform the visualizations as well. Okay. So using that, we can do it. So let us go through this the data set. So first of all, let us see the application data. Download.
Which one?
No problem. Let me just structure. Okay, so now you can see this one. This is with the column description. So here you are having 3 columns. So, okay. So this is just normal column number, and this is the table. So this is the table from which that column is coming. So as I told, it is having 2 different columns, 2 different tables we are getting. One is application data, another one is previous application data. So these are the 2 tables. And in the application data, how many columns we are having? All those columns it will come. Suppose if you take this sk_id_curr, what is this column? Its description is being shown. Visible. So it is about ID of the loan in our sample. And what is this target? I told the target variable. Target variable name itself is target. And here it is name contract type. So identification, if loan is cash or is it revolving. So code gender flag own car. So flag variables means it will be having either yes or no or else 0 or else. That is meant by flag variables. So which means is flag if the client owns a car. So sometimes it will be Y, which means the client is owning a car. If it is N, no, the client doesn't have the car. Or else it can be 0 or 1. 0 means client don't have the car. 1 means client is having the car. So simply yes means 1, no means 0. We will do the normalization as well here in this project. So what we will do, some columns here we will be having N and Y, some will have 0 and 1s. So what we will do is after some point of time we will normalize the data. Suppose all the flag variables will have either 0 or 1 or yes or. Okay. So using this, you can see this entire columns description has been provided to you here in this particular data set called columns description. So what I will suggest you is, first of all, go through the application data. So first of all, let us open the application data. Yeah, I will. So I think it will take some time. So what I will suggest to the approach is, so try to open one data set. First of all, let us say application data. Go through each and every column. How many rows are there? So how the approach of the problem solving is, we need to first understand the data. That's how we will be starting. After understanding the data, will clean the data. So understanding the data will involve reading the data set into the Jupyter notebook. So what is the platform you're using? Jupyter. So load it into the Jupyter notebook. So reading the data set using the pandas. And first try to import all the required libraries. Import the NumPy, import pandas, matplotlib, and seaboard. These four will be sufficient. So you can import all this, read the data, check the info of it, check the shape of the data set, how many rows, how many columns are there, and in the info itself, no issue. I think it will fine. It is taking some time. Solution on the data. So first of all, we need to read the data in the info itself. You will get the entire data tables, means what are the data type, how many rows it is having, right? Data frame dot info. So you will be able to understand how many values each and every column is having. By that, you can understand how much is the missing values present. But we can't directly get the missing values there. So what I will suggest you is calculate the missing value percentage. Okay, in each and every column, how much is the missing value percentage? So first of all, missing value percentage. Percentage only you will first of all calculate. So I told the basic thumb rule, right? Find out how many columns are having more than 50% of missing value. So first try to do that. Calculate the missing value percentage and identify which columns are having more than 50% of missing values. Try to get all of those into one set of list. Try to copy it into the list. So this is the data set of application data. No, it's fine. So first of all, the missing value percentage, try to find out. After finding out the missing value percentage, get all the columns. How many are having greater than 50% of missing values? Try to drop all of this. Okay, drop all the columns that are having greater than 50% of missing values. After dropping that, try if you can drop it more than 40% as. I think you need to drop it around 50% or 50 of the columns, I think. One of the data set will have, I think, around 120 columns. So yeah, this is the column which is having total 120 columns. Around these 120 columns, I think we'll get around 50 to 60 columns will be getting dropped. Okay, 50 to 60 columns will be getting dropped. So don't worry about the importance of that column. If in this data set, I think so, the column which is required will not have that much of missing. Okay.
Does it take 1 week? Does it take 1 week to filtering all?
Oh no, it's not take that much. It will not take much time. So try to filter out all the unnecessary columns that are having greater than 50% of the missing values. That is the first step you need to do in the both the data sets. After that, try to find out the remaining missing value percentage, how you can go ahead and make it as 0%. That is the next step. Some of the having less than 30%. Let us say 20% of the missing values have been there in a column. How you are going to treat that 20% and make it as a 0%? Suppose if it is a numerical column, suppose let us say amount credit is there. Suppose this column I am talking about, amount credit. How much is the amount credited into that particular bank account for that particular customer? In that amount credit, try to check, let us say 20% of the data is missing in this particular column. How you are going to retain the remain 20% of the value? Try to use the mean method. That is the best method here, as it is a numerical column. So try to get a mean of the amount credit and try to fill it with wherever missing values are. So which is the function that will help you in filling the missing values in any column. Fill and fill NA is the function that will help. So you can write down data frame dot that particular column name in the square brackets, that is amount credit. Data frame brackets in the quotes amount credit dot fill NA. In the brackets you can write down mean of it. Again, directly write df of amount credit dot meet, that will give you the result. Directly it will go on in a single line itself. Everything will be getting filled. Okay. So in that way, try to fill out the missing value percentage for all the columns and make it as 0% at the end. After making this for the two columns, for the two data sets, now the next step is for the outliers. That is the next part. So how come you are going to identify the outliers in the data?
For visualization,
Box plot. Box plot is the best method for us to identify the outliers present. So if you find an outlier, what you are going to do?
Replace. Replace.
replace.
Replace with
Replace
Like
with
stars,
me.
mean.
how you are going to replace the outliers? Do you have such kind of methods? Suppose there are missing value percentage are there, I'm telling about in 122 columns. Let us say 50 to 60 columns are having more than 50% of the null values. When you're dropping the columns, what is the number that is getting reduced? Columns number is getting reduced. When you're dealing with outliers, which one will get reduced? Is it rows or is it columns? Rows. I will tell you, you all know what is meant by outlier, right? So simply I will tell you, there is an 5 persons are there who are working in a company, and let us compare their salaries. So one person is earning 50,000, second person is earning 60,000, third person is earning 70,000, fourth person is earning 5,000, fifth person is earning 20 lakhs. What are the outliers here?
5,000 and 20.
5,000 and 20 lakhs. So what are the method that you are going to follow here? Do we require those two? If you consider those two as it is, those 5,000 and 20 lakh person in the total data, what is the impact that you are going to get if you find out a mean there?
Mean will be affected.
Mean will be affected. It will be almost, let us say, if it is coming around 2 lakhs, 2 lakhs as a mean. So we can't say average salary of the person who is working in there is 2 lakhs, because one person is earning that 5,000. How come these are related to 2 lakhs? So entire analysis is getting hampered there because of those 2 persons salary, that is 5,000 and 10 lakhs. So are they required? It's not required for us. Drop it, drop those rows. So how come you know what is the value here you are going to consider to drop? Using the box plot. Plot the box plot for the columns, whatever you are having. Identify the box plot range, means on the top you will see where the points are coming as an outlier at after which amount value. Let us say the same amount credit if you are taking, you will get an values on the y-axis, the amount values, and in the x-axis it will show the just bar. So if I am talking about being y-axis on the amount and x-axis is the categorical value below. And let us say more than 10 lakhs, there are 2 to 3 values are there, and next point you are having is for 1 lakh. I think you are able to assume. I don't have the board here to show. Suppose
Yes.
the point here, one outlier is having in the box plot is around 1 lakh. And the next outlier point it is showing is at 10 lakhs in the box plot. Okay. If you can remove your points that are greater than 1 lakh, those 2 points will go. That is around more than 10 lakhs. When those 2 points goes, your box plot will get expanded. Am I right? Are you able to understand? Are you able to visualize?
Yes.
When your box plot is like this at the starting, and if you are having a point here and here, if you are going to remove these two, your box plot will get expanded like this. So the outlier will be gone there. If still you are having one more outlier here around 5 lakhs, remove that as well. Still your box plot will get expanded. So when your column is giving you an ideal box plot, that is your box is somewhat readable format, it's a little bit expanded, then I can say that box plot is ideal and the column is having no outliers. So box plot is the best method to identify whether a column is having the outliers or not. So try to identify the box plot, plot it, and identify which column is having the outliers, and try to remove that. And one more thing is, don't remove the outlier for all the columns at a time. Why I'm saying this is, if you can remove outlier in one column, it will be removed in another column as well, because you are removing a row here. You are not removing a column. When you are removing a row, suppose let me tell you one more example here. I am dealing with amount income total, amount credit, and amount annuity. These three columns. Let us say this row number 3 is an outlier with respect to amount annuity and amount income total. If you are going to remove this with respect to amount annuity, this third row, is it not going to be dealt with amount income total as well? Right? So that row will be removed, which means amount income total has been dealt, amount credit is also dealt, and amount annuity is also dealt. So here, when you're removing the rows, we need to keep in mind that when you're removing a row, remaining columns will also get affected. So try to deal with each and every column and analyze. That's how you need to treat it there. But when you're removing the columns, it is not like that. You can remove all the columns at a time, but not with the rows. Okay, so that's what you need to keep in mind when you're deleting the or dropping the rows. You're having outliers. So because of those outliers, your analysis will be hampered. So that's why dealing with the outliers is very much important. So that is the next thing that we will do. If you can perform that, the next thing is dealing with the data types. So sometimes what will happen is the same amount income total will have a string value or else a categorical value. So generally speaking, amount income total, amount field means it should be a numerical, but sometimes it will be a, let us say, something called string or category. So you need to change those data types. So how come you know whether what is the ideal kind of data type for a column? How can you identify that? How come you know? I'm asking. How come you know that that column is having this? This should be the data type of this column name. You're having the basic knowledge regarding that particular column. How come you're going to get that basic knowledge? With the help of columns, description, data set, I have shown you. So go through that. Basic knowledge, if you have amount fields, most of us will know, talking about amount means it should be numeric. So like that, we need to check it. So that's how we need to do the next step, identifying the correct data types, and if it is having incorrect data types being mapped, go ahead and change it to correct data type. Because when you're trying to find out the mean for a categorical column, it will be useless. It will not give you correct thing. Sometimes it will even throw an error as well, because you can't able to find out the mean for a string data type. So that's how we need to change the data types. All these things will come under the data cleaning things. Okay. So that is the main important thing. Data cleaning we have completed. Data understanding also we have been completed. After completing this thing, what is the next step we are going to follow?
Analysis.
As part of analysis, what is the first thing you will do? Univariate analysis. Take a column and correlate it with the target area and see how it is getting related. That is, you will get some insights over it. Suppose when you're dealing with a gender versus target variable, it's a kind of univariate analysis. With the help of a bar chart, you can identify these many male employees, male customers are applying for the loan. These many female are applying for the loan. In that way, you will get an insight there. Try to write it down there itself. From the bar chart, try to write it down there. Use the matplotlib or else the seaborn. Try to plot the graph for the seaborn, for the univariate and bivariate and multivariate. So the important columns, it can be, you can take income type, education type, family status, and days employed, days registration. You see this one. This will be something interesting you can understand. Observe this column. Are you able to find anything? these 4 columns. Are you able to identify anything here? Try look at the data.
Negative.
Negative values.
Negative and positive. Basic requirement.
Is there means is it valid data? Having minus symbol in the days. If I ask you what is your date of birth in terms of days, will not say minus values, right? What is your employment years of experience? I will say 2 years. Let us say it is 24 months. I will say 24 months. I will not say minus 20. That is not a valid data. So these things also you need to take. So how you can take care of it? So you can directly convert it into positive number, right? You can use the modulus method, mod of, if you can take it, everything will be coming in the positive. Can anyone say, can you use string slicing there? String slicing. What is the slicing method? You all know what is slicing
Yes.
in the Python? So if you have a string, you wanted to get a substring out of the entire string,
Yes.
we will use slicing method. Suppose if I can convert this days birth into a string value, and if I can ignore the 0th index, minus will go, right? So instead of doing that, yeah, we can push it, but indexing, using indexing and slicing will be much more easy. Why I'm saying is, if you can use the slicing operation, start taking it from the first index if it is having minus in it. Write an if condition. Okay, go for a for loop. Write down if condition saying if the first character is having yes, try to take it from the first index position. Otherwise, take it from the 0th index. That is one way. Otherwise, using modulus method, that will be another way. Then like that, there will be so many methods available. So in that way, you can deal with the minus value there. So these all things you need to keep in mind when you are going to do the occupation type is one more important thing for the univariate analysis as well as bivariate analysis. So try to combine gender, occupation type versus the target variable. Okay, in each and every gender, how many people are having occupation type as accountants or managers or laborers, and how many of them are applying for the loan, how many of them are target will be having 0, target will be having 1. In that way also you can.
How to fill those null values in occupation type? Be that
Is it a,
predict their occupation.
yeah, so what is the column data type it can be? Categorical. So mode is the best method. Mode you can use. Out of the mode result, take the position that is present at the 0th index. Because
Like labors are in the percent and
so the code is going to provide you that, right? We are not going to do it manually. So you will be writing down the code. Occupation type the mode you will do. It will provide the stock columns according to the descending order or whatever is the highest mode. Take the first position value, that is 0th index in that list, and fill it. Code will take it. That is not required. Because code will give you that.
this is not depend on our target variable, so we can.
Yeah, that's not because we are trying to include the null values there. We haven't yet means this is the first step which we are going to perform before univariate and bivariate. Okay. So you can do with that. So I think that will be sufficient. And the organization type is also, don't know how much is the missing values present. I can't say. So try to analyze it. Okay. You can see there are so many null values present. As I told earlier, 50 to 60 columns easily, I think it will get dropped. Try to drop it if it is even having 40% of missing values. Okay. So try to perform univariate, bivariate, multivariate analysis and find out the insights from each and every graph. Write it down there itself as a notepad in the notebook itself, Jupyter notebook. And then at the final, we will correlate all those points and we will identify the risky group and trigger. This. Anything anybody want to ask? All good? Okay.
Filtering, when I talk about filtering, we are using Python. instead of that, we can directly do Excel formatting.
That's what I'm saying. Here the rows are more. So data is more, it will not give you the correct data. Means some data will be truncated, kind of thing, right? So it is not a suggestible way in the Excel.
We can also use Power BI using this.
Yeah, but trying to get it in the Python, that will be easy.
What about the second?
Yeah, the same thing. Previous application will also contain the same kind of columns. Sometimes I think it will be less columns than this. The same kind of approach. Sorry, can you please come again?
What is that? We have to do this.
So what you can do is, first of all, the same kind of method, whatever you are going to apply for this application data, try to do the same with the previous application. After doing some time, you need to merge the both of this. Merge both the data sets. Okay, perform a join. Instead of performing, both of them are same, but instead of join, you can merge it. Okay, merge upon the common column and get all of those in the same columns in a single data set. And you can perform that, you can get few extra columns which you can use it for performing the multivariate analysis. Okay, that can be used.
So the target column is both in previous and application.
Here it will be there. You can check it, I think so. See only one. Okay, application data is having the target.
What is expected? I mean, how, what is that will be expected for?
So you will expect some of the columns which are not present in the current application data. The previous application data will give you the data of the when the client has been approved, means the customer has been applied for the earlier loans. So this entire thing you will get it in a single data set so that we can analyze the current customer's application previous data. Suppose he has been applied the loan earlier, how he has been repaid or not. So those kind of details you will get. Okay? Whether he has been approved, whether he has been unused of the offer. So those kind of things you.
With the last, the target variable is like flag one. Yes, no, yes. Is it that?
Yeah, it should be the target variable I showed you, right, in the data set.
The last output is like yes or no. We should approve or not.
No,
Or we should.
that is not
compare
the kind of thing that we are trying to do. We are trying to
Yeah.
identify the risky kind of group of people, recommended group of people. We are not forecasting anything else. Keep in mind, we are not doing the, we are not, yeah, exactly. We are not doing the forecasting here. We are identifying the group of people. We are identifying the patterns inside the data. We are not forecasting anything. That will be kind of forecasting. Okay? That will be performed best using machine learning models.
Merging is done in Python.
In Python. Exact kind of thing will not happen in the Excel. Here, the data is, if it is huge, you can't open directly in the Excel. Some rows will get missed. If we can do everything in Excel, then there is no need for us in the data visualization tools. Even using Excel also, we can perform data visualization, right? Can create a graphs, but it is not an ideal scenario if you have billions of data. That's why we are using for other things. So using one method also you can do, but we are trying to identify which is the most efficient. Most efficient one here for doing this operation is Python. Okay. Anything else? Fine then. Okay. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so this data set contains, it is only 3 lakhs, but another application is more than 10 lakhs. It is 16 lakhs rows we have. Okay, so it is not possible to open with Excel. Okay, Excel limit is only 10 lakhs. Okay, so you can load into Jupyter and there you can open complete 16 lakhs rows and we have 60 or 35 columns. Okay, so open with that. And where exactly it is available? Yes, go to schedule block. Okay, there you can see data analytics hackathon. Open it. So you can see this description and go to resources, download this data sets. Okay, and try to solve that. And after that, submit here. Okay, and I will collect from my database. Okay, so this is your problem statement and this is your data sets. Download it and complete, submit your Jupyter file. 1 or 2 Jupyter files you can create.
Is it available, right?
Yeah, it is available. Yeah, tomorrow also can available. So sit together, okay, as a group, as a team, and solve this. Okay, instead of performing single thing, you can sit 2 people or 3 people and then solve it. It will be very easy to complete, right? Yeah. Hmm.
Repayment.
Yeah, done.